relationships are emotional. All right. Okay. Thank you. And Cassie says, yes, and they can't see or perceive it. All they see is that we are weak. I used to say to my husband, how can you call me stupid when you chose to marry me? Doesn't say much about yourself. You are calling yourself stupid. Goes deep. And I want to read my comment in case you don't see this. I said, well, how people treat others says a lot about how they feel about themselves. Okay? So no matter how people treat us, we remain true to ourselves. When someone's abusing you, which is talking bad about you to somebody else, that's abuse. And I know abusers always think, what, abuse isn't abuse. No, that's not abuse. Well, you can look these things up. Smear campaign's abuse, right? And if I want to talk bad about somebody, it doesn't matter if they did it or didn't do it. Or, that's your opinion, for one, okay? And if we think somebody's bad because they're abusive, and then we go abuse them, you are going to feel bad. Because you just said, it's bad, it's not good, I hate it, I don't like it. Okay? So we remain true to ourselves, and if you value honesty and respect and self-respect, then you show it. And you give it to that person if you want to continue to try to work the relationship out. And if the problems don't get fixed, we leave it. Okay? Sharing with somebody who you trust about your experiences that happened, and you don't want them to go tell anybody else, that's not smearing. Okay? Choosing to tell somebody bad things, encouraging them to go tell that person to call them up and say, I don't know how you live with yourself, that's all abuse. It's disgusting. And you let people be the bad, disgusting, sick one. You just put them out of your life. We accept people for who they are. Okay? I just wanted to say that. And I'm really sorry this person abused you and gaslit you like that. Thanks for sharing. Jennifer from the United Kingdom, hello. What helped the most with your CPTSD? Oh, you're asking me, what helped me the most with my CPTSD? I know it's a combination of things, but was there anything specific that stood out to you that you could advise me with? My therapy for CPTSD starts soon. Thank you, David. I'm glad to see that you're getting help and support that you need. Awesome. Thanks for asking, Jennifer. This may not help you, but I went years without knowing what was wrong. I went to therapists. They didn't know. There's no CPTSD in their books back then, and nothing taught in school about it. None of it. I could tell them about all the abuse I had, and they'd say, oh, write them a letter. Tell them you're sorry. Keep trying. Yeah, keep being traumatized and traumatized and traumatized, and keep telling them it's, my fault. And yeah. So that just solidifies all the BS, doesn't it? The biggest thing to help me after years of not knowing is finding out. So we can't fix it or change it till we name it, right? And that discovery was the biggest discovery of my life. And for the last many, many years of my life, finally made sense in a single moment of finding out. But I don't know, that doesn't help you, Jennifer. You want to know, since you know you have CPTSD, what's the biggest thing you can help? Well, I'll steal it right out of the books, okay? The 3 best things you can do. And this is what helped me the most, okay, Jennifer, afterwards, is these 3 things. I'm not kidding. Talking to somebody, maybe better than just your friends, a therapist, somebody that understands, somebody that's not attached to you, committed to you, and somebody you paid for service. So it's all about you, not them. For once in your life, right? All the attention is on you, and everything's about you for a change instead of somebody else. It's beautiful. Number 2, socialize. These are different. Socialize. Get out there, interact with people, mingle with them. I say go to the same store, go in the same line, get to the same cashier, get to know their name, introduce yourself, right? Hey, Jennifer, how's it going? How are the kids? These things help. It raises the hormones that we've been dependent on rising in our toxic relationships. And that means that we're dependent on somebody else to do that for us. And now we are doing that ourselves. Okay? And the 3rd is being creative. Being creative opens your mind to healing. It says, instead of, I like right where I am, right? If you like where you are right now, feeling CPTSD, traumatized, stressed, anxious, depressed, if you like that, then we do things like take really hot showers and baths and stay in bed all day and not do anything different and be careful not to meet anybody else that might hurt us. See that? keeps us right where we are. So what can we just change those little things, right? I'm going to get out more. I'm going to do things I know help me, even if it doesn't feel good today, right? I'm going to socialize, put myself out there, talk to people, tell them what's going on, get professional help, and I'm going to start being creative. There's all kinds of things you can do to be creative, and I recommend them all every week, okay? So Jennifer, I've got hundreds of Q&A videos where I recommend something. And a lot about is what we're doing. Be mindful. Artistry, music, home repairs, just making things beautiful again. Instead of white walls, a red wall. Adding color to our life, okay? Fixing things and all these things. It really opens up our brains to move forward, to move out of the place that we're at. Cold showers instead of hot showers. I'm not kidding. Cold showers heal. Does a lot of different things to you. And a lot of people freak out when I say that. But when I take a cold shower, I don't jump into the coldest water there is. No. I start with lukewarm, warm, whatever makes me feel comfortable when I get in. And then I start going colder, colder, colder. You'll be surprised how cold you can get. Okay? But this isn't a shock to our body. This is to get our brains going. I don't want to stay where I am. I'm going to do things differently. Right? Those are the best things you can do. Light exercise, not too much. Realize that CPTSD might have damaged some of our brains, and we need to heal our brain, which means a lot of sleep, no stress, and exercise helps regulate these chemicals that spike up and make us anxious. Too much exercise does it again. So, right, nothing too much. That's the first rule a man ever made. Nothing too much, okay? And time. Time. But all of this is about relationships, right? Bad experiences, never had our emotional needs met, adding stress to our lives. So what the healing part really, really is understanding who we are, understanding our lives and how we got here, okay? And learning finally what our parents didn't teach us. Learning finally what a healthy, loving, functional relationship looks like and how to do it, okay? Because once we do that, the stress is gone, and now we have comfort in our lives, okay? It's the single most important thing to all of us, okay? So there's a bunch of things to do. Jennifer, if you feel your therapist isn't helping you enough, go find another one. They're not your friend, they're providing a service. And we need to get help this much, this fast, okay? A therapist helping you this much is doing you an injustice, I promise you, okay? You are worthy of the best help out there. And anybody that tells me there's no help out there for me, you're not looking hard enough, because there is. And I found great therapists in the United Kingdom. I know of many people who have told me very much about their great therapists they had all over Europe, all over the United Kingdom, all over America, Canada. So they do exist. And now with technology, we can have the kind of help we need through video, okay? That's how I help my clients. And it works. Thank you, Jennifer. Good luck. Keep asking questions, okay? If you had more specific questions, ask me. Skylar from London. Hi, Skylar. David, can you tell me what the playlist is you mentioned regarding CPTSD? It's called Healing CPTSD. Maybe you can't find playlists. So all of you tap on someone's channel, it takes you to their homepage. You can do that by the little thumbnail by people's comments. You tap that thumbnail, it's going to take you to the homepage. Somewhere, maybe wherever you're at, it'll have a little bar and it says home, right? You got home, playlist, videos. Go to playlists, you'll see playlists. I have several, and one of them says Healing CPTSD. It's my best videos, and I don't mean because I look the prettiest in them. I'm because it's the ones that heal the most, okay? There's only so much learning about yourself and healing yourself by studying somebody with a personality disorder, unless you have one, right? Studying and obsessing a narcissist and my ex and my ex and my ex is simply replacing that dependency, okay? That's what it's doing. And the attention needs to finally be on us. We need to learn, we need to heal, we need to feel better and start learning how to give ourselves what we need in our lives, okay? Just try to imagine, and everybody that's asking questions, that if you don't get what you need, we're sick. If emotional needs are the most important thing in our lives, more important than physical needs, let's look at physical needs, right? Our primary ones. How long can you live without sleep, without food, without water, right? Without shelter, without oxygen? You can't. You can't live without these. Emotional needs more important, and most of us have never had them met. Never. And if you haven't, you're not going to be very aware of this. I have a lot of people that tell me, oh no, I had my emotional needs met my whole childhood, and then and then every relationship after that, they never had emotional needs met. Well, I won't say impossible. I'll say 99% impossible. Okay? So all of this stuff is taught, and if we didn't learn it, we need to teach ourselves. Okay? Thank you. And thank you for asking about the playlist. I hope you understand where to find it. It's just called Healing CPTSD. You'll see a bunch of videos in there that are all titled CPTSD. Edith. Hello, Edith. The hardest self-searching that I had to do is finding myself, cutting off toxic people, even my own son, which is still eating me inside, still to this day. Thank you. And I said, that is so sad. I'm sorry. Trust your decision comes from a place of self-preservation that is healthy. I'm so sorry for your loss, and I hope it feels better soon. And the only way that that's going to feel better is to begin grieving. Grieving is acceptance, okay? And we accept people for who they are today. Today. We don't judge people for the past. We hold people accountable for their behaviors today, right? And when someone tells you, I don't love you, I don't want to be with you, I hate you, get away from me, maybe in the future someday we can be together again and stuff like this. We accept it. We accept it, and this allows us to heal, and it's what makes us eventually feel better. Not accepting it means that these emotions stay right here forever, forever. And it can be, it's not healthy to carry these emotions on forever, right? Especially negative ones. The anger we lose the source of so often, especially men. Men are angry at something and they don't show it and they hold it in, and they're angry could be for the rest of their life, for decades. And that carrying that kind of anger around and not expressing it, telling people, can kill you. It'll kill you. Your biography becomes your biology. I can't agree with that more. And Edith says, self-preservation, does that mean letting go of your true feelings towards one? My question for next week. And I would like more information about that, exactly what you're asking. And you says, does that mean letting go of your true feelings towards one? And, I'm not asking you to not care or not love your son, right? But it's self-preservation is protecting yourself and not allowing your son to continue to hurt you, not allowing him to come in and out of your life, things like this, okay? And start processing emotions and start going through the process of grief, okay? Letting go of your true feelings is expressing them and being very aware of how you really feel, because this kind of loss isn't just love, care, and miss. It's hurt, a lot of hurt, right? It's a void. Fill this void with something healthy, hopefully, Edith. I hope that answers your question. Please keep talking and asking me, and I am so sorry for your loss, again, Edith. Even if he comes back to you, okay? We start grieving now because we don't know that. And that's the problem when people do this to others. Exit their life and try to come back 2 years later. You still mad at me? The healthy person says, no, I grieved. I'm over it. I'm good with it. It's okay. Bye. The person that kept those emotions says, yeah, I'm still angry, but it's okay. I won't tell you. I want you back, And not accepting who somebody is means that we accept their behaviors, don't we? Do you see that? Thank you, Edith. Good luck. Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. You're right. I can't do this on my own. I'm going to get a psychologist to talk to and actually do the stuff they tell me to do and feel better. Good. They get angry if I treat them like an object, but they also don't want me to treat them like a friend. After drinking after drinking the antidepressants and the calm pills and vitamins the doctor gave me, I feel a whole lot better. In the last video, it looked like you were on holiday. Hope you had a good time. Thank you. Thanks, Emily. Thanks for sharing this. This raises your self-worth, and that is a major, major part of healing. Okay? Self-worth. If somebody is abusing us and neglecting us over and over and over again, we don't feel worthy of better. And if we don't, doesn't matter if that relationship ends, if we still don't feel worthy of better, we won't find better. We date our own emotional self-worth. So where is yours? If yours is down here and we start dating, you're not going to date somebody that has self-worth up here, and they won't either. You're going to date somebody that their self-worth is down here. And this together is never going to work. Absolute codependency. Absolute. Dependent on the other, not expressing the self, no responsibility, accountability, and it will never, never work. So, Emily, you're giving yourself that chance to work to be happy. Good. Hi, David. Juanita from Elkview, West Virginia again. Hi, Juanita. Thank you for answering my questions from last week about borderlines. You make a good point about borderlines mirroring and not having a sense of self. I had an ex-best friend who I suspect was BPD. She and I had maybe about 7 fallouts, and it was always me being discarded. Whenever we start up our friendship again, it would be great, positive, and she would say, "You're my best friend in the whole world." She would copy me and mirror things that I was into and my upbeat attitude. And then not long after she does a complete 180, things would turn dark and she would accuse me of things that I was never doing. Do you see that? Do you see that kind of fear? Do you see how your friend has fear of abandonment and would perceive it and see it no matter what you do? And she would end up leaving and abandoning you, and now she's been abandoned again. Because when we get attached to people and we plan a future together and things like this, it's all loss, all of it when it's over. And this person leaves and comes back, leaves and comes back, always afraid of what you're doing, accusing you of things you're not even doing. You see that? She would copy me and mirror things that I was into and my upbeat attitude. Oh, I already said that. Things would turn dark. She would accuse me of things I was never doing. Like she accused me of talking behind her back when I spoke highly of her. I guess because of the love bombing she gave me, and she accused me of colluding with my sister against her, who I haven't spoken to. No, maybe these things happened to her before and she's not healed from them. She's not reassuring herself, and she's taking this right into new relationships with people. And her fears become fruition. She accused me of colluding with her sister, who I haven't spoken to in years. It was bizarre. I had recently heard about borderlines and their lack of object constancy, and I believe that played a part in her accusing me of stuff I never did. Can you explain about the lack of object constancy and how it plays a role in borderline personality disorder? Also, I know that the delightful and cheery person that she was during her love bombing stage was never real. Yeah, right. Because she doesn't know how to regulate her own emotions or hormones at all. Her hormones are regulated by her unregulated emotions. So things get really exciting for her, new relationships. She idealizes, and then she's waiting for you to do what other people have done to her. And those fears kick in, the hormones go down. It makes her more and more and more unstable, which makes people impulsive. And a biggest sign of impulsivity is cutting and starting off relationships with people, okay? Object constancy. The ability to reassure myself of what's happening when external stimulants don't do that. For instance, mother says, "I love you, I love you, I love you. I'll be right back." Takes a few seconds, comes back. There she is. There she is. There she is. I'm now can start beginning to rely on this and telling myself when she takes longer trips away, she's gonna come back. She always does. She loves me. It's that inner dialogue again, right? That borderlines totally lack. So, very common with borderlines, people who have this disorder. Every 2 hours, I expect you to text me, and by an hour and 50 minutes, I start freaking out, and I don't know what to do. And do you see that? Because that person's done nothing except they're just gone again. I'll see you later. I'll talk to you later. And they keep doing it, and they come back in 2 hours. Oh, I wish I just waited 10 minutes. But we've got to reassure ourselves, because then we become dependent on others to do that for us. That's codependency, okay? We need interdependency. All right? I hope that explains that. Thank you, Juanita. And Hazel Basil from Alabama. Hi, Hazel. How do you put up boundaries in the heat of the moment? I tend to freeze or dissociate when people are disrespectful or abrasive. I would like to be able to assert my boundaries politely and to be able to withstand whatever reaction they give me, be it passive aggression, disapproval, or condensation. Your no thank you response is great, and I use it when I can, but I want to be able to say it in the moment. If you continue to do it, I will have to do, or if you can, you're quoting yourself, if you continue to do X, I will have to do Y. Or, I don't feel good, I'm going to go now. Instead, I become a scared child and feel like I'm being shamed by an intimidating authority figure. It feels like I have no right to exit the conversation or to voice my own thoughts. Then later, I'll be seething mad that I let them treat me that way. So common, Hazel, for people that lacking boundaries. You know, this stuff is taught. Be easy on yourself. And we start small, Hazel. We start small. We start telling people no thank you all the time. Literally. Try it throughout the day. Try it, you know, I'm going to say no to whoever asks me anything because you have that right, okay? So instead of the tense, waiting for that tense, heated moment, start it with just casual conversation. No, thank you. And we don't explain ourselves. We don't apologize. This makes it better because we need confidence, and confidence comes from experience only. All right? We can posture a little confidence and fake it a little bit, you know, not overcompensate with ego. I'm better than you and stuff like this, but just, you know, stand tall, stand up, don't explain anybody, and tell yourself, I'm enough. I'm enough. What I want is enough. I don't need to beg and wait and ask so many times and keep apologizing while I'm asking and explain so much, and try and say things one time, okay? What we need, what you need, Hazel, is enough. How you feel is enough, okay? We're taking responsibility for others, aren't we? We've been trained and programmed that whatever we do affects other people, and we're responsible for that. Okay? We're responsible for our actions, but not other people's emotions. Okay? I understand this might be confusing to a lot of people. I see this a lot. But if I say something that is hurting you, not just something hurtful, because now we're talking about my behaviors, and maybe it doesn't hurt somebody else, right? I can sit there and go, well, it doesn't hurt anybody else, it doesn't hurt